Hello and welcome. In today's video we are going over the Mercedes CLK LM. Now I feel like this is going to be the perfect car to look at today because we just went over the BMW McLaren F1 GTR. So these cars are going to be head-to-head competitors in real life as well as in Gran Turismo 7. So I'm quite interested to see which one actually takes the cake. Now once you get behind the wheel of this car, you understand why this car was an absolute beast in its day. So, a little bit of history for the Mercedes CLK LM. This car was made when manufacturers were making cars specifically for racing. This car is a purpose-built race car. This isn't just a normal street car that was turned into a track car. No, this was solely built and designed to go around a circuit as fast as possible. And to just comply with racing regulations, they had to make a few for street use. Now, the CLK LM absolutely dominated the FIA GT Championship by winning every single event. Do you know how hard it is in any motorsport to be so overpowered that you win absolutely everything? Now, for Le Mans, when this vehicle was entered, sadly it did not actually win, and the only reason I say that is because this car was incredibly fast, actually running faster by over a second compared to the Toyota 1, where this car suffered mechanical failure. The car ran into an issue where the steering pump basically gave out, and that required the car to actually retire, because when the steering pump gave out, it basically killed all of the other fluid systems in the car, so the car physically couldn't function, and this happened to both of the cars. So sadly it did not finish its Le Mans debut. Now the CLK LM was actually so overpowered that they actually had to cancel the GT1 part of the championship because the entrants were lacking. No one wanted to enter. If they knew Mercedes was coming with performance like this, everyone else was too scared to participate. Now, okay, that's not officially what happened, but I mean, come on. If you're competing against someone that won every single event, every single one, either you're gonna drop all your funds into making something a whole lot faster, or you're just not gonna wanna go again because you know you're just gonna be absolutely annihilated. Okay, well, that's enough with the history of this car. Absolutely cracked and overpowered in real life, but when it comes to a game, how does it feel? Okay, with the car being in its standard form, if we look at the McLaren F1 GTR, this is, how do I say, a lot better. We only look at the standard points of view now. With the car, want to purchase it, how it feels. So the GTR race car it feels a lot slower and a lot looser when it comes to cornering, and the Mercedes actually just really takes advantage of that. The car is super flat through corners. You're able to push it a lot harder through corners compared to the GTR race car. And okay, on top speed, I would say that the McLaren is a lot faster compared to the Mercedes, but it's not like you're gonna be like, wow, I'm 10 seconds behind, or you know, you're not gonna lose that much ground, but it is a noticeable difference. Now when it comes to a car's upgrading ability, so the car comes standard with 600 brake horsepower, and the upgrades you can actually do to it is not very much. So you can add a medium RPM turbocharger, which will bump that 600 horsepower up to 842 brake horsepower. So yes, that is a big difference and a big power increase. So now with us upgrading the power and upgrading the McLaren as well, it's time to see which is actually the better of the two. Now I had a blast in the McLaren, so we just need to see, does the Mercedes actually offer the same experience? Now if we look at my current leaderboard, we can see the McLaren F1 GTR race car sets a fastest lap time of 1 minute 23.609. So that is our time to beat, and let's see, is the CLK LM actually capable of beating it? Now driving a Mercedes fully upgraded is a completely different experience compared to driving stock. The car's acceleration is a lot more responsive, the power, you can feel it pulling you along a lot faster. Now cornering, you also have to judge now your braking, because you actually haven't upgraded your braking system, so the only thing that's changed is your performance, which means now you need to readjust yourself to think, okay, can I brake here? Is this enough? And for most of the time, you can actually brake where you are already braking. You actually don't have to change anything. The car is extremely fast. It has incredible brakes. The downforce on this car is actually ridiculous, the way you're able to take so many corners practically flat out. The car just carries itself in such a good way that it is incredibly fun and incredibly fast. And now, I did say that the McLaren sets a 123.609. This car, with me pushing it as hard as possible, look, I wasn't able to set the most perfect lap, but this car sets a 1 minute 23.670. So yes, slightly slower than the McLaren, but I say if I had a cleaner lap, or if I gave it one more go, this car could easily beat the McLaren. But I'm not gonna sit around whole day pushing it until it beats the McLaren. As you can see, the cars are really closely matched, so if you have to choose between which one, it's really up to you, because you can either pick this or the McLaren. And frankly, I would go with the Mercedes. Why? Because this car only costs 6.5 million credits and the McLaren is 11.5. I think it's 11.4. I can't even. It's 11 million. That's the point. This car is a whole lot cheaper and it's just practically the same performance. The only thing that's really changed is the badging and the legacy of the vehicle. So if you're just looking for a fast Group 2 vehicle and you still want one of these retro German races, well, I say pick up the Mercedes. Now to wrap this video up, I wanted to complete the WTC 700 around Le Mans. That way I can finish an endurance event around Le Mans, since in real life this car failed to. So now, in order to do that, you have to detune the vehicle, and with detuning the vehicle, I feel like it honestly just kills the car's performance, and it's not really that efficient to actually use for this event. I feel like the WTC 800 event, if you want to use it for money grinding purposes, will be better suited for this GT2 car, or even the 1 hour around Spa. The WTC 700 for Le Mans just doesn't really feel like the right fit because of how fast the car actually is. Now the biggest thing for me when using this vehicle on an endurance event has to be this car's fuel efficiency. On fuel map level 6 for this particular event, it can be completed doing a no stop method, and even on fuel map level 1 you're able to go 4 laps before having to go into the pits. Now the lap times I was getting in this vehicle was really fluctuating depending on the lap, depending on the weather. There's so many things, but the fastest lap I was able to get was a 4 minutes and 8 seconds. However, my average, let's just say, is around a 4 minute 15 lap. So it is a lot faster than a normal average vehicle, but it is also great for fuel. So it has its pros, it has its cons, but anyway, you are able to complete the WTC 700 in this car, and by completing it, we complete the car's goal, and that was to complete the 24 hours of Le Mans. I know it's not the same thing, but this is the closest we're gonna get in Gran Turismo 7. So with all this being said, hope you guys did go on to enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget leave a like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo 7 content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.